It's high time we debated right here on Crossballs.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Women are designed for sex.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people.
I'm not gay. It's totally immoral.
Who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.
I'm Chris Tallman. Tonight's topic, marijuana. Hey, everyone, there's a baby in the pool. Is pot to blame, or should marijuana be legalized? First up from the organization Drug Abuse is Life Abuse, Marilyn McDougal. Also with us is the head of the Independent Marijuana Research Center, Matthew Benson. Thank you for being with us. Question of the day. Is marijuana more dangerous or less dangerous than the average person believes? Marilyn.
Far more dangerous than the average.
Why is that?
Kids are out still using marijuana thinking it was the same marijuana their parents and grandparents used. It's not.
It's more potent. Matt, how do you respond?
I've been researching pot myself since college on myself, and I've discovered the fact...
Good scientists never experiments on themselves.
Really? What about Isaac Newton? He had the apple fall on his own head. That's how he found out about gravity. Do you not believe in gravity because he experimented on himself?
I do believe in gravity.
I think we all agree that pot is good for everyone. From the old to the young, everyone should be on it all the time,
young?
like vitamins. Yes.
How young are we talking?
I would recommend starting in your teenage years, 13.
Absolutely not. We have 142% more kids in treatment for an addiction to marijuana, and I'd like to bring a panel of them up here and ask them...
I'd get them high. And I bet they'd like, I guarantee you that panel would like me more than you. I guarantee you that.
Popularity contest.
Yeah, because you're giving them... How can you possibly...
A sober teen is a dangerous teen. When you were sober, you got in fights more, you vandalized more.
You did?
Everyone does. Wake up to reality, lady. When you're high, you just sit in a beanbag all day. It's great. You're not hurting anybody.
I can't believe you're saying that. New topic. Every year there are thousands of alcohol-related deaths, yet pot remains illegal and the vilified drug. Is this fair, Matt?
Of course not. I've done many experiments, once again, on myself with both alcohol and marijuana. One day I will get very drunk and drive my car around the neighborhood and see how that affects me. And then the next day I will get high and drive around the neighborhood and see how that affects me. I've noticed that when I drive high, I tend to drive slower, and because everything seems to be moving really fast, so I drive slow, and therefore when I have a collision, it's kind of a minor collision. I just scrape a little paint. When I drive drunk around my neighborhood, I've noticed I'm more erratic. I drive faster. I've totaled a couple of mailboxes doing that. So it's obvious, the conclusion, hard data, that it's worse to drive drunk.
Well, I certainly hope some good law enforcement people are watching tonight, identify and find you and get you off the road.
Hard facts. When you get high, you get paranoid. Will you agree with me on that?
Yeah, you get paranoid.
Okay, you get paranoid. That makes you a defensive driver. When I'm always aware of who's in my blind spot because I'm afraid they're out to get me. So I'm always looking around saying, who's in my blind spot? That makes me more safe by definition.
No, it does not. You're taking that vehicle in your impairment and driving down the road and putting every one of these people and me in jeopardy.
I've done tests. It's not just on me, so don't get on me about that. I've tested with teens in my neighborhood, at least hundreds of teens in my neighborhood.
That is totally and completely illegal.
Everything I'm doing is illegal, and that's why I'm on this show, is trying to convince people it should be the other way. It should not be illegal. I've tested teens. They come down into my basement, they sit on the bean bags, we have toke exercises, then I let them go drive around the neighborhood.
God,
They're safe.
I hope somebody finds where you live and gets you arrested and out of society.
I cannot believe that you are getting kids behind the wheel of a car high or drunk. How is it you're not in trouble?
Well, I have had a parent, and believe me,
A parent? I hope you've had hundreds of parents down your throat.
Down my throat? That's nasty. I don't want to get it down my throat.
Don't do that to her.
In my neighborhood, I've gotten in trouble with at least one of the parents threatened me a couple of months ago.
Good.
He called me a child molester because I was with this. I'm a molester? That means I'm being sexual with them. I'm just getting high with them in beanbags. What's wrong with that? But I had his son doing the toke exercises and the driving test, and he threatened to have me arrested. But then I said, hey, Wancho, where's your green card? And then all of a sudden, that was the end of the conversation. Believe me.
You're a jeopardy to society.
Absolutely.
An absolute jeopardy to society.
You're a wheel of fortune to society. The most addictive thing in the world and the most harmful thing in the world is religion. Do you agree with me on that?
No.
Religion is the opiate of the masses.
No, it is not.
Jesus said that, I think.
No, he didn't say that.
He did not say that.
He did not say that.
I think it was Jesus.
Hey,
anyway,
you're wrong.
It wouldn't be Jesus. I think it was someone else. Anyway, that was definitely said by somebody, and I can't remember who.
Next issue. Mr. Benson's Independent Marijuana Research Center is doing more than just studying marijuana. It's developing a new version of the drug.
There's some clever horticulturists from Amsterdam who have invented a hybrid, which is 49% THC and 51% ragweed, so it makes the substance legal. Of course, ragweed is, a lot of people are allergic to that. That's a flaw, but we're working on that.
All right, now we have a copy of your organization's industrial commercial pitch for this new drug. Take a look.
Oh, honey, look over there. Honey, is your glaucoma acting up again?
Yeah.
Good thing we brought your Weedox. Oh, honey, look over there.
It's a bird.
Redox can be used daily. Symptoms may begin to improve in 1 minute. Maximum relief may require increased inhaling. Results may vary. Side effects may include heightened hunger and focused lethargy and are generally favorable. Do not use Redox if you are allergic to ragweed or near anyone who may be pregnant or allergic to ragweed. Redox lets you get back to the things you really love. Ask your healthcare professional if Redox is right for you.
This is what I'm talking about.
All right. Sure. If something like Weedox passed FDA testing, should it be allowed in pharmacies? Marilyn?
We have no drugs that have ever been passed, no potions or in anything that you smoke or inhale.
We are going to make a 6-hour release pill of pot, and also maybe brownie form is an idea. Like just the other day, you know those where you
Forget
where
you're
you
high. We're moving on. Forget it. We're running out of time. Let's get into the quick balls round. Marijuana has gained acceptance in regions like Amsterdam. Is there any chance it will ever be fully accepted here in America? Quick balls, go, Matt!
Oh, the great American role models have been high.
Like who?
Louis Armstrong, Willie Nelson, the Fabulous Freak Brothers. Those are our American idols that we need to look up to.
All right, rebound to you, Marilyn.
95% of Americans don't believe in the legalization of
You're
drugs.
nuts. You just made that fact up. Name one role model who's not gotten high. Exists right now.
Anybody.
Name a role model.
President Bush.
Thank you. Thank you for making my point. And he snorted cocaine.
All right.
He snorted cocaine. Respond to that. Respond to that. He snorted cocaine. He snorted cocaine.
I'm not going to respond to your high.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm president.
Come on. Knock it off. Coming up, some Xbox smokers are just saying no. When is it time to hand in your rolling papers?
Hippies Against Weed is an organization of real hippies, and we leave out all the drugs and all the mud sex, man, because we don't need it.
More Crossballs when we return. Joining us now is marijuana activist and producer of TV's Hemp for Victory, Richard Marcella, and the chief spokesman for Hippies Against Weed, Andrew Penn. Does marijuana cause negative effects when used over long periods of time? Richard, let's start with you.
No, absolutely not. Because I was a part of a study at UCLA, and they paid me to smoke pot there. And you know what they told me? They could find nothing wrong with pot.
Smoking pot goes against everything that hippies believe in, man. I mean that, okay? You're playing right into the hand of corporations when you smoke weed. Because who benefits from your pot smoking? Snack food companies, record labels, the History Channel. The History Channel, man, people like that. That's who benefits.
The History Channel, too.
Exactly, man. That's who benefits.
This guy's loco. He's crazy.
All right, so, Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit about your group?
My group is called Hippies Against Weed, and we have a lot of programs to try and keep people off weed and show people different alternatives to getting high.
How?
We set up a phony normal meeting where we send around a petition, and we got people to sign it and put their name and address and everything, and then we handed that right over to the DEA, man. We really did. Yeah, we did, because this is a serious problem. Citizens have a right, a responsibility to take care of drug addicts. If you're a store owner and it's 3 in the morning and somebody comes in and piles up the snack foods and stuff, you have a responsibility to lock that guy in a broom closet or a walk-in freezer and call the cops until the cops can get there and take care of those
Marilyn, Marilyn, what do you think about that?
That would be illegal.
Why would that be illegal?
You can't just put somebody in a broom closet because they buy snacks.
Absolutely. Moving on, there are dozens of anti-drug PSAs on TV at any given time, but Mr. Penn's organization created one the networks are refusing to air. Tell us about that.
So, Hippies Against Weed produced one that's just a lot, that just tells it like it is.
How big an organization is it? How many members do you have?
We have 55 active members in the group right now.
55 active members!
Do you even know what you're laughing at? Do you even know what
Check this out.
Watch it.
How many people are in your organization, man?
Millions!
We got to keep moving. We've got the PSA I was just talking about. Let's take a look. Richard, watch the screen.
Which one?
As a family, you have a big decision to make. Your grandmother's in a deep coma. Now, there's a chance that she'll never come out of it. Of course, she may surprise us all and suddenly snap out of it.
Nurse! Mother! What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. I'm high.
People on pot sometimes make bad decisions. Richard?
On the contrary.
The point was that he was high and he couldn't make reasonable decisions, and that is true. I mean, that happens, man. When I was smoking a lot of dope, okay, I did not make good decisions. I cheated on my girlfriend dozens of times, all right? I was so high during a period of time, I embezzled thousands of dollars from a tennis club that I was in, man.
What?
I seriously did, because I was high and I wasn't thinking about
Is that
consequences.
because of pot or just because he's a...
No, because he's a schmuck and a thief and a liar.
That is uncool.
That's just uncool. All right, I got to go to the next issue. Next issue. Is it hard to quit?
Whenever you want to stop, you stop. There's a certain amount of psychological...
I stop every night before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
All right, and response.
We do something like every week. We organize Hippies Against Weed with our 55 members, organizes a weekly event to show people who are really into smoking pot that they can get together and have a really good time without smoking pot.
Like what?
Last week we sponsored a party at a shooting range. We did a lot of drinking. People got real drunk and learned how to shoot guns. And you know what? It was a great time and there was no pot involved.
Guns kill people every day, and alcohol kills your judgment, and here you're giving somebody who's drunk something that'll kill people. You're insane.
Yeah, you do that every
Absolutely
weekend.
insane.
Next week we're getting together and we're putting on an old-fashioned minstrel show, man. And we're saying, bring your blackface and leave your pot at home, man. And we're doing that.
I have a problem with that, Chris.
What's wrong with that?
Who wouldn't?
We shouldn't see the female period celebrated like that.
That was the prevailing
There's no
form of entertainment in the
credibility
early
with these people.
1900s.
You're
It's very
ridiculous.
popular.
That is absolutely
We have a
ridiculous.
disclaimer beforehand about racism.
We got to move on. Oh, God. All right, coming up. Meet a man arrested for drug trafficking just for owning a head shop. Did the feds play rope-a-dope or rope-a-dope fee? This is not a bar.
That is a water pipe used by real tobacco connoisseurs. All right?
More crossballs when we return. Joining us now is an American businessman who feels he's a civilian casualty in the drug war, Sean Davis. Now, Mr. Davis, how did you come to be arrested?
Well, Chris, I run a store, and we sell a lot of stuff. We sell camouflage jackets, black lights, some really funny T-shirts. But we make most of our money off of rolling papers, pipes, and water pipes, what some people refer to as bongs. Now, these products are all clearly labeled for tobacco use only, but the police persecuted me from the time I opened the store until about 7 months ago. An undercover cop asked one of my employees, can you use these water pipes for smoking marijuana? Now, this guy was not a liar, so he told the truth. Yes, it is possible. He could have also said it was possible to smoke the ashes of a dead man or the foot of a puppy dog. Just because something's possible doesn't mean that's what it's for. Nevertheless, we were all arrested. Even though I don't smoke marijuana, I have never smoked marijuana, and everything was clearly labeled tobacco use only. Chris, I'm being persecuted for living the American dream.
I think we're missing the point here. We have a generation we're going to leave this country with a bunch of potheads running it That scares me to death. Why don't you use your marketing skills to market something that would value society and help society?
It does help society.
It does help society. Thank you very much.
How does it help, Sean?
You don't smoke marijuana.
I don't smoke marijuana.
Why does that help society then?
Because there's a lot of people in society who enjoy smoking tobacco in very elaborate ways.
Yeah.
You can't profile people because of what they sell, buy, or do. I myself went to a Journey cover band laser light show last month, and, you know, there may have been pot users there. I don't know. I was not one of them. What I do know is that when this band sang Wheel in the Sky, they had an actual laser light wheel in the sky.
Well,
I loved it, and I was not high.
The laser light show is great, but it's all been overrun by potheads.
It's
and
for
people
us, dude. Laser light shows are for us, man. It's for us, man.
I can't have you guys talking on top of each other. You knock it off. Bottom line, what constitutes drug paraphernalia? Now let's look at some items we ordered from Mr. Davis's website. I've got them right over here. All right.
Thank you for buying those, by the way.
Well, yeah, no problem. Okay, so I guess what is this? This is a bong, right?
No, it's a water pipe, Chris.
What is this sticker right here?
As best I can tell, that's a Toronto Maple Leaf sticker, Chris.
Come on! Look at that. Look at that. That's a pot leaf.
Must belong to a hockey fan.
This one has a sticker on it that says I heart pot.
People have bumper stickers that say I love sailing. Doesn't mean they go sailing in their cars.
Come on.
Just admit it's for weed, man.
Look at this. It's a gas mask bong.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a gas mask water pipe, but also that is obviously something that soldiers use to smoke tobacco in battle.
All right.
You are selling drug.
Okay, look at this. Check this out. All right, it's a little leather case. It's got the skull and the crossbones. Open up inside. We have needles and spoons.
And that's used for what? Legally?
Yeah, what is that? How is that?
If you look at the label on the side, you'll see that it's very clearly marked for insulin use only and for yogurt use only. All right? That's
For yogurt use only?
That's a kit that I sell to diabetics. There's nothing worse than knowing that your blood sugar's skyrocketing. You go to a deli, you grab some yogurt, you want to eat it, but what are you going to do? Use one of those plastic spoons that are all nasty and covered with fingerprints?
It's bent backwards. How do you eat yogurt with this?
The backwards thing actually makes it easier to eat, Chris.
By the way, this whole kit, it's called El Diablo. This is El Diablo. Explain that.
It's from Spain.
All right, coming up, do you have to snort life to get high off of it? Legal alternatives to drugs when Crossballs returns. Joining us now is the creator of the Get High on Life website, Jerry Smith. And Mr. Smith, your site offers, quote, thousands of alternatives to drugs that are totally legal and make you feel just as good, unquote. How does that work?
I consider myself the Martha Stewart of getting high, you know? Because I've come up with all kinds of recipes and different, you know, fun facts, like adrenaline. It's one of the most powerful things that's inside your body already. Go for thrills. You ever try driving with your lights off for like 80 miles an hour? And then, hey, you know what? There's other stuff too, like public masturbation. Now, let me see. Whoa. Not everybody has to know that you're masturbating, but if you do it in public, you get a rush. You get like a thrill from that. You know
what you're doing is insulting the young people that do come up with positive ways to enjoy life.
There's a lot of stuff you can smell and get high off. I was spray painting something and smelled it real hard.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
No, it's
Spray
not.
paint's
No,
legal.
it's not.
No,
You
Jerry,
can smell anything you want to. You can smell anything, and it's
Jerry,
not
what you're
illegal.
suggesting is not only terrible, it's extraordinarily dangerous.
Yeah.
Nobody under any circumstances should do any of the things you're talking
No,
about.
I'm telling people that's what they should do, though.
No, and I'm saying don't. I get that. Don't do that.
You should die from that one-time use of doing just that.
Yes.
One time.
I smell farts.
Oh, come on.
Did you know?
Stop.
Again, you're making a mockery of those who find legitimate things to do.
You can smell them, and it gives you a high. It gives you kind of a high.
No, that's right. But Marilyn, this guy is absolutely ridiculous, isn't he?
He's beyond ridiculous.
No, you cannot do this.
He is now inhaling.
What's going on?
Oh, my God.
Jerry!
What's he?
What the hell is going on? Jerry! Jerry, we have to end the show right now. Jerry, you can't do this. Jerry! Jerry!
That's sad.
What?
We're ending the show now. Last word.
All I want to say is...
Don't give him time.
Well, hey, wait a minute. Who are you to say not give me time?
Because you're sitting there with a ring of silver paint around your face and you just inhaled. You don't need to give. Society gives you nothing but time behind bars. That's all we owe you.
I'll meet you
I
there.
didn't break no laws. Biatch.
Come on. All right, we will see you next time when more experts get caught between the cross.
Wait,
What? Come on.
Sorry, but I want to get one last word because you know what? During that last commercial break, I went over to Richard's dressing room and I actually found something that I think you're going to find pretty interesting in Richard's dressing room.
Wait a
so what
second.
this means is that you support rape rings and you support terrorism and you're a criminal and you're a drug user and you belong in jail. Yes or no?
Is that yours?
You're a liar.
How am I a liar, man? How am I a liar?
Hang on,
man?
settle down.
Because one, I didn't bring any pot with me, and you're a liar.
Oh,
You're a
really?
committed liar.
This is not pot.
What is it?
I don't know. It's like oregano or weeds or something. It's not pot.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Did you fake this?
You know what? That's right.
No, did you fake this?
That is oregano, but you had to think about it, man. You didn't know what
Come
you
on!
Fake this, man! You had to think about it, man.
Forget it.
Yes.
We will see you next time with more experts will talk between the crossballs. Good night.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Women are designed for sex.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people
I'm not gay.
It's totally immoral.
who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.